Good evening and welcome to Speaker Club Inner Circles, month number 7, session number 28, wherein we had this month's theme, the Art of Influence run, and we had 3 programs, intensive deep programs about how can we build or master the art of influence. And today is an open mic session, the 4th Friday of the month, where we have it open for all the members, open to guests to engage and join the session. We have had this month sessions about how can we persuade. How do we create a persuasive pitch through which we can influence and engage and make an impact on other people? Second, we had a program about you, me, or we, which was largely to do with negotiating skills, wherein we focused on how do we get to outcomes with which we can choose what is the outcome that we are wanting and what is the cost that we are willing to pay for it. And finally, the third program that we had this month was Winning Without Defeating, in which we focused on how do we build trust and how do we focus on outcomes, not as I or the other person winning, but more to do with long-term solutions, long-term relationships with which all of us who are there as a party of the negotiation or the discussion or the two parties involved can leave any situation or any, a discussion or a viewpoint, leaving without having a feeling of having lost that discussion or that point. And today, an extension of this month's theme, which is called elevator pitch. It is often called time and attention are one of the most precious things which we all long for and we all constantly strive to get from people. Time and attention. But the reality of it is we as individuals have very short span of attention and more often even lesser opportunity for the attention of people who matter, on whom we can create a lasting impact. So here today's session is called as an elevator pitch. Just to give you a scientific or the definition of what is elevator pitch, it is a brief way of introducing yourself, getting across a point or two and making connection with someone. Please note, elevator pitch in itself does not create or make or break a deal. It is just an entry, like the door of a house, the gate of premises where you are getting into it. It is not a deal making or breaking conversation. It is just like you get into an elevator. The name comes from this idea where many people used to use these chances or opportunities where they coincidentally get into an elevator which is moving from a certain floor to the top floor or wherever it is traveling, and you get that 30 seconds, 45 seconds or 60 seconds with someone through which you can make an impact and begin a conversation, not make or break a deal, but begin a conversation which can follow up to better places for your better connections. So when you talk of elevator pitch, please note it is just the first conversation that you're having. Again, it is not an icebreaker conversation because it's not two people who are equals and looking for getting to know each other. It is more often than not a person who's looking for an opportunity with someone who's senior or someone like a customer, someone who's your boss, where or extended or 2 or 3 levels higher boss, or a government official or a customer, anyone whom with whom you can create a pitch and you have a business or you have an idea or you have a purpose through which you can sell yourself. So that is what elevator pitch is to you. It is not to make or break a deal. It is just a process through which you get a connection and get into the process. So if I tell you, all you have got is 60 seconds. Please note, I'll be having a timer with me today. And whatever activity that we do or whatever conversation that we have or any opportunity that you're getting, all you have is 60 seconds. And at the end of 60 seconds, we stop and we take a review. Please note, it is not going to be just that you're going to talk and we are going to just leave it there. The idea is if you are here on a Friday night together with us, we are here to learn. How can we get better? How can we improve the skill of getting or making connections and making an impact and getting the ball rolling with anyone who matters to us? So whatever we'll be doing is for every activity, for every conversation that anyone speaks, we will have all of us together, share our feedback, quick one-liner feedback of what was good or what could have been better and how we can make it better. So we will have a quick feedback, less than 20-30 seconds in all, and quickly move to the next person. Because we don't want to just have it like a fun activity where someone is speaking and then we are done. We don't know if you have made an impact or not if we do not get a feedback. So that is what we're going to get. Each individual for every activity is going to get 60 seconds to make a pitch. Make a pitch for themselves. I'll tell you what all activities you're going to have in a bit. So the uses of where elevator pitch can be helpful for you is if you go for a job interview, if you are meeting supposedly in a networking event with a person or a manager of another company where you're looking or seeking for an opportunity in that company as a job. It can be if you are running a startup or if you have an idea, if you have a solution to something and you're getting an opportunity to people who make the decisions. How can you make inroads into having a conversation with them? That is what and how these opportunities open up for you. But please note, these opportunities are not like a 30-minute meeting that you get. When it comes to elevator pitch, maximum that you get most often is, tell me in 15 seconds, what do you want to say? And are you able to say it or not? Are you able to create an impact or not? What are you going to say so that when in 15 seconds or 30 seconds or 1 minute, you can create an impact through which the connection can be built for a follow-up business. That is what the entire idea is about. Clear, everyone? Let's have a few activities and then we'll go about debrief of how we can do better. So let's get going with the first set of activity that we have today, which is about introducing yourself as an example when you are in an industry event. Where today, as an example, if I have Rabia, if you are meeting, she's a teacher. Rabia is a teacher and she is in a education conference where she is meeting a principal of another top reputed school in Hyderabad. You're meeting a principal of another top reputed school in Hyderabad. You have 1 minute to talk to her and you are in general looking for opportunities or for changing of job or whatever your intention is. You have 60 seconds and the audience is the principal of that school.
Means to say, like, I'm the person who is going to face an interview, or
you're not facing an interview. It's an education fair where you're coincidentally met with some college principal with whom you have suddenly got 30 seconds or 60 seconds of time and you have to talk to them. And maybe if things work, you could possibly get an interview after that, or you could leave a connection if you want an interview after that. But you're building a connection. Maybe it may not be today, but after 1 year, if you want an opportunity, who knows? If she's a connection that you have, you could reach out to her that I'm looking for a job. So this is just an example. This is just an example in Rabia's case where she's a teacher. If you are into some IT company as an example, if you're working in some Amazon as an example, you're meeting some official, some HR manager of Google. How are you going to introduce yourself? And all you have is 60 seconds. Please note, we are not going to go into icebreaker speech where you're going to tell about where you were born and all this stuff. How are you going to make, or how are you going to talk, or what are you going to say in 60 seconds is what you're looking for. Clear, everyone? I hope everyone is clear. And everyone gets a shot at this, 1 minute each. We'll get back to what was done right, what could have been done also. Okay, that is where the learning will happen. Rabi, you want to go first?
May I second?
May I second? Then who's first? Uma ma'am?
Uma ma'am, yes.
Uma ma'am, so as an example for you, because I know you personally, I'll give you a context. You are a trainer. And as an example, you're meeting someone from Success Gyan. There's a conference happening and you're meeting a top-notch trainer from Success Gyan Academy. So you're getting 60 seconds to talk to them. Idea is clear? Perfect. And you all will be able to see the timer on my screen. Clear? I'm going to start the timer once you start. Over to you, Uma ma'am. Suppose I am, so let's assume rather than talk to the audience or a group, I am the CEO of Success Gyan, to give you an example, and you are a trainer. Go ahead.
Hello, Suren sir. I'm so happy to meet you. Do you believe that is it knowledge, expertise, or experience which makes you stand out in a crowd? According to me, all these three definitely play a role in someone's choosing you as their mentor, trainer, or coach. I'm happy to say that I have impacted hundreds of lives of students, housewives, executives over the past 35 years in schools, clubs, and organizations. Today, I'm proud to say that I'm a spoken English trainer and communication coach with 30 plus years experience in the teaching field, having connections in various platforms and have impacted many lives. As part of giving back to the society, I also give free online classes to a government school near Mysore. I'm proud to have made an impact by helping people grow and also improve their communication skills. I'm so happy to meet you. Did I make an impact on you?
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderfully done. I like the wonderful pointers, the build-up of credibility. Ravi, I'm coming to you next. I'm just going to share because why I'm not going with all together and then talk of the feedback, because each one of us can learn while we are doing in the process. Uma ma'am, wonderfully done on building the credibility, wonderfully done on using the name of the person because you know him and you are putting across his part of the story. Now comes the important question. You have told about yourself, you have built a good credibility, you have built the image. If at all he is short of people who have lesser credibility, it's okay. It's okay if he has shortage of trainers. But today he is approached by over 1,000 people who are trainers with similar qualification, credibility, and having the work done. Where you missed on the puzzle was creating or finding a connect of his missing piece to what you do. As a trainer, I feel communication is important, but before that comes the fundamentals of spoken language. I've seen a lot of programs on your platform about communication and developing, but I feel this spoken English which is still missing in your arsenal. And I feel with my experience, I'll be able to add a lot of value. Let me know if this excites you and get back to me. We can connect at a later point in time. You're still not selling yourself completely. You're creating a missing piece in his mind and you have pitched yourself. You have done your work well. You have pitched yourself well, but he doesn't still have a clarity or he doesn't have a desire that I am missing something. But if you cover that with your idea of what you're sharing, you're creating a desire in him that, okay, I'm missing something. Okay, and she has 30 years experience. Let me talk to him. Let me talk to her. So might be at the end of the elevator pitch, okay, Uma, here's my card. Let's talk about further of what you do and how you do things in a week's time. Can you get in touch with my secretary for an appointment? You created your case. You're still telling him, yes, I'm doing a good work, tell me yes. But you're not making him feel that you are a resource person for him, possibly. You have not created that desire in him. Clear? I hope each one of you are getting how we are seeing, how we are not only creating a brand image. Here it has become an icebreaker. Professional icebreaker. When someone asks you, tell me about yourself in an interview, that's a perfect answer. But if you are meeting someone where you are talking of building a connection, creating that connect is very important. Thank you, ma'am. Very well done. Who's coming up next? Rabia?
Yeah.
So Rabia, you're meeting the principal of a top reputed school in some education fair. In some education fair, you're meeting or you've got a chance to connect with someone who's a principal of the top reputed school in Hyderabad. Over to you, Rabia.
Okay. I just assume you to be the principal and I would like to address you. So, hello, sir. Nice meeting you. It's since long it was my desire to have a talk with you. I'm Rabia Mahavish, have an experience of around 22 years of teaching. And it's a matter when concerned with me, I can say that it is not just a matter of teaching, as well as I feel every day is a day of learning. So for me, looking up for the people like you, I can say a role model like, and I get inspired by meeting such personalities who have a greater impact on my life as well. So I feel myself to be a privileged one to have a talk with you, and looking forward for learning many things as a principal.
Rabia, you went on mute. Rabia, you're on mute. Rabia, you're on mute. Can you unmute, please?
Hello.
Okay.
Am I
Okay. You have
audible?
another. You have another 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Yes. So it's my privilege to meet you. And at this platform, I would like to say that it would be
Again on mute. Rabia, I don't know if there's some button which is being pressed. Rabia, you're on mute. Rabia, you're on mute. I'm sorry. Anyone else is able to hear her?
No, she's
Okay.
on.
Okay, Rabia, now you're audible. Yeah, I think we'll have more activities also again. Don't worry about that. So I'll just go ahead with the debrief about yours. Well done on setting up about that you're a teacher, 22 experience, putting the context about who you are well. One thing that I liked about you is you setting up a context about how I, as an example, I'm the principal, I'm a role model where I suddenly feel inclined to listen to you. That was a good connect wherein you're talking about me, and suddenly when someone says, I give my attention to you. Genuine compliment always helps in getting the connect. But if it's someone who's already too successful or who's already heard a lot of success stories, then possibly that might be okay, flattery, where, okay, tell me what do you want now? It'll be coming to that. Then you went, it was a privilege talking to you when you are doing elevator pitch. All you have is 30 seconds to 40 seconds. In that, cut off all the extras, cut off the flab, because the more you speak about non-essential things, you're missing out an opportunity to sell or pitch for yourself or the idea that you have. So always remember, cut off the flab. In the meeting, if you get an appointment, then you can say all these things. But here, in that 30 to 40 seconds, go ahead with the pitch. Go ahead with targeting what you want to say. You can go ahead with saying that, okay, possibly as a teacher, I've always had a wonderful connect with my students. And I feel I have techniques through which I have had a deeper impact on my students. And I feel I've done these programs for my school, in my school, where I have influenced other teachers as well. So putting across an imagery that this person can be a resourceful person for my school is a good connect.
okay.
And maybe if you want to go a stretch ahead also, you can go ahead with sharing that, okay, I've done these programs for other schools through which I've got a good rating as an example. Or you can use a statistic. If you have training programs or you're doing some training programs, you can talk of a statistic with which you can say there's been a 45% improvement in the results of my teachers whom I've trained with the techniques that I have used over the past 22 years of my life. What techniques? What are you sharing? What are you talking about? I'll get interested in what you have to say. Nabi, I think we'll have a good discussion in our office sometime. Whenever you're free, just let me know. I can invite you to our college and talk to our teachers about your techniques. Getting the difference? You leaving it open there, okay, I'm a fan, it's a privilege, I like to talk to you. You're not getting to the point and all you have is 30 to 40 seconds. You're missing out on the opportunity. Don't do that. Okay?
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Subhash, you want to go next?
Yeah, Rahul, yes.
Your context and whom are you speaking to?
I'm basically from automotive field, so I got opportunity in the solar field. So I thought I'll have this conversation with my boss means boss who sits in US.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Interesting. So over to you. Start.
Hello, Marshall. Good afternoon. I'm Subhash Chandran. I have 14 plus years of experience in program management. I'm from the automotive field. So I came to know that there is an opening in our organization for a solar industry. So since it is a lesser green field, I would say, I have enough experience of program management who manages cost, time, and quality. And I've worked with a different product line, and which will definitely help in your organization to move up. So I know various processes in different organizations. So I'll be helpful in your organization to set up a process and manage a team and make it, growing along with my growth as well. So we'll be growing together. So I would like to be part of your organization. So we'd like to connect in the future. So Thank you. Thanks for our opportunity.
Thank you, Subhash. Well done. Here, when you said it's your boss's boss, you can actually go ahead with the title that you have in your setup, because I have 14 years of experience and all those things become secondary.
Okay.
I am, as an example, in the India division, I am the manager or the vice president of this department. That's one thing. Well done on directly getting to the point. But here, directly using that there's a job opportunity becomes like a reference talk more than an elevator pitch. If you know that can be the objective, that can come as a last line that I heard you're looking for, I heard there's an opening. That can be the last line before that set up the context, or why should he listen to you? You can talk about, if you were talking about solar panels and the processes that you want to get into, you could have looked at setting up your credibility into that space. You might have recently heard about this project that we have delivered. It's resulted in massive 500% growth in the department that I work in. And that was an initiative which we started as a team. Together we evolved, solved the problems, and set that up in a way we have got massive results. And I think the future prospects also show very good opportunities for the company's growth. Then you can come on to, I've heard recently that you're looking for a manager in this division. If it maps to my qualification or my kind of a skill set, do let me know. I'll be more than happy to connect and see if we can grow together further. If I could replicate the results that I have done here in that department as well. Okay, he has got the results. He's using that work as what he has delivered. Otherwise, it becomes like any other person who's asking for a job. Subhash, getting the difference? Otherwise, good work on the basic, the idea of how for the next thing which you're looking at, growing together, getting or collectively working together. These are values people will be looking at. You showcase that we do this, we will do this. But more than an idea being said as a qualitative feature, talk of actual things that you did, and then leave it there that if you're looking for someone like this, let me know. If this is something, if you want me to replicate the results in that department also, I'm more than happy to help. Leave it there. So it doesn't become like suddenly someone you have found in an elevator and he's asking for that job opportunity, please give me that job opportunity kind of a thing. So you are having your credibility with the work that you have done and you're connecting on that. Thank you. Thank you, Subhash. Ellen?
Yeah.
Context.
Yeah, I went on conference. Just I'm seeing one more company CEO.
Okay.
Just I'm telling me about myself. Like that, again, opportunity like that. Yeah.
Got it. Go ahead. Once again, let me start the timer. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, sir. Very good evening. I heard about you a lot. Just first time I'm meeting you. Glad to meet you. Just I'm introduce myself. I said myself, Lakshmi Narayana. I have 15 years experience. I'm taking care of one tech park. So I'm taking care of end-to-end operation. I'm apart from the normal operation, green energy, lot of things I'm working on that. So I heard also I seen your LinkedIn page. You more concerned about green energy. So I'm also more concerned. I love to do the green things. I attending. That's the reason I'm attending this conference also. So lot of green projects I have working already. I'm putting my weekends also. I'm gathering lot of about the green energy projects. For example, solar or lot of projects. I'm attending big conferences. So I love to connect with you further. Further you get chances. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ellen. Well done. Good clarity on the things that you do, end-to-end work on facilities management, green energy, and you use that conference, which is about the green energy, to connect with him. Important thing when you're doing an elevator pitch, it's always good to have a relatability with the person that you're talking. Here, what I would go further deeper is initially when you began, you were rushing. You're rushing with your speed in the way you're conversing. Because you know you have a lesser time, what happens often is that we want to pack a lot of things into this 30 seconds. But if you want to pack a lot of things, what it comes across as being desperate. That you are wanting to push, you want this connection, you want his visiting card, you want his appointment. It comes across in that way. So rather than that, because we want to create an credibility for ourselves and then the connection building, rather than it coming across as desperation that I want an appointment with you, I want a job in your company. Look at how you are calm and composed. And more importantly, you are sharing something which will excite him. Here you said about LinkedIn and he preferring green energy and you connecting that with your idea that you are focused on green energy. Doing weekends, all that doesn't add value. What you can rather say is that the last project where in my facilities I implemented a green project, we had a net carbon footprint down of this much. Suddenly, if he's actually into green energy, he listens to that word carbon footprint, project, numbers, growth. Now this is exciting. I run this project here. What did you do with which you got this 25% reduction in carbon footprint? Is something that will come to his mind. What can I do in my company that will help with your innovation or your idea that I want you to come there and talk to me about it? All of us are talking about what am I doing, what am I offering, what am I going to do, who am I? We are not understanding that if a personality who is above us with regard to credibility of the work, how can we make him excited about us? That is when the follow-up will come. Otherwise, he has not, you are one LN. I have 1,000 LNs who are chasing me already. How do I know this is the LN that I want? Or this is a Subhash that I want to talk to? How can you in that 45 seconds tell something which is his need and how are you solving it? Showcase the problem to him and tell this is what I have to offer. Only I have to offer. And so he comes to you or he builds that connection. You have only one CEO whom you're chasing. He is one CEO whom 1,000 people are already chasing. How can he know that this is the LN that wants to come? Clear? So always remember again, this is not just related to anyone specific to a corporate job or situation. If you are a startup, you have an idea. If you are a startup and you have an idea where you want to sell it to investors or you want to pitch it to investors, how are you projecting? Are you going to project with you, your idea, your solution? Or are you going to tell the other person, do you see this as a problem? I have a solution for this. That's when you get excited. Otherwise, it's all my story. I want the money, or I want you to invest in me, or I want you to buy the product. Same with customers. When you're selling to a customer also, the same logic applies. How are you making the customer feel that I have a pain, I have a problem, I have a situation which is not resolved, and then tell, this is what I have to offer. Look at how this is solving your problem. Now automatically the customer will come to you. You won't keep chasing the customer. You have made him realize or showcase the problem to him, and you have said that you have the answer to it. So look at your pitches, how you are making your pitch, because I'll tell you why this part of the entire deal making is critical, is because there are 1,000 people whose calls you get every day. How do you decide of one person that whom you're going to talk to? That's all boiling down to the first 30 seconds, that conversation that you have with anyone. And so this part of how you are structuring and putting across is what makes an entire difference. Whether it's interviews, whether it's customers, whether it's these events in which you get to meet a lot of people. Clear, everyone? Let's move to a few more examples quickly. Who's coming up next? Saikiran, you want to go?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead. What's the context?
I'm talking about my dream project about a brain reader, brain emotions reader from brain signals.
Interesting. So you are meeting a tech enthusiast conference.
Yeah, it is a conference about cognitive senses, and I have the head of a company which is already, maybe it is a Neuralink of Elon Musk.
Okay.
Maybe I'm meeting Elon Musk.
Oh, okay. I am Elon Musk. You can get going. This is 1 minute for you.
Yeah. Hi, Elon Musk. It's really a dream come true that I have met you. Really. I'm actually enthused in the product that you recently came up with. Your company came up called the Neuralink. I have had a relationship break up a few months ago, just because there was communication gap. I mean, she was pretending to be good, but instead she had different emotions. So if only we had a brain reader to read the other person's emotions, couldn't that relationship be more secure and more transparent? That is my idea, which is the fire in me to work and develop such products. You may get many other people to work on this, but if you choose me, you would be the one who helped me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir, Sai Kiran.
Yeah.
Well done. I like the setup, but it didn't come to the solution or what are you going to offer. It's like I want to work with on a project. Now the idea is good. If you don't have a product or if you don't have an idea which is already in making or which you are already having where you're selling something, because it didn't come through. If you might have had, it didn't come through. But I'm Elon Musk. I walked away. I heard
Yeah.
half of your idea. I heard half of your story. Yeah, I can work on a project like this myself. I don't know where Sai Kiran could have just an idea. Like Mark Zuckerberg heard the idea from 2 other friends and he went on to create something of his own. But if you didn't tell that you have already made progress, and I would like to see how we can collaborate if you're interested. That part didn't come through. Story was a very good idea in the way you tried to create a pitch. Again, for everyone, stories. Storytelling is one of the oldest forms through which you can actually get to the point through a parallel way. Rather than always talking about an emotion, rather than talking about logic, statistics and all, you can share a story. I had a breakup recently. Had I known of her thought process before, possibly I would not have been in such a turmoil. And this is something that I've been working on for the last 6 months. And I have made inroads into neural science through which I'm able to actually know what people are thinking, all with this one test. And I feel this is a scalable idea. If you'd be interested, I would want to discuss with you how we would want to go forward with this. Getting excited? Getting excited to listen? Getting excited to have a meeting? Now let's get talking. I want you to meet me. I'm not Musk. We can anyways meet. Okay. Thank you. Sai Kiran, interesting. I hope you have got the insight of where the difference is on how the idea and the way you went into it was solid. But you had only 45 seconds. You had only 60 seconds. You didn't come to a point where you can ask about collaboration or tell about how far you have come in your work. You won't
My
get that. Credentials. And one more thing. You took the first 11 seconds to tell you're a big fan of him. Everyone is a big fan. Don't waste the time. Don't waste the time. Because you have, in that 11 seconds, you would have told about the product that you have worked on already. So remember, guys, why I'm rushing on this part is because this makes the entire difference. They do not have the time. And you do not have that attention for so long. Clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Let's move to another 1 or 2 examples. Who's coming up next? Dinesh, you want to go? Or Shazia? You can just talk. See, everyone is a learner here. Again, we are just discussing. Please note, I'm no master of this myself. I'm a learner myself. I'm just sharing with the ideas with which, because of my experience in different worlds. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. In different worlds, I use different techniques for making inroads. And that's where we are learning together, all of us. Dinesh or Shazia, who wants to go? Siddharth? Sri Krishna, you're also there if you want to.
If there is no one, can I go ahead?
Siddharth, you want to go?
Yeah.
Or Dinesh, who said? Siddharth, what's the context?
All right. We actually, a group of friends have recently created an application. And it's for donation, basically. And we are going to pitch that to government. So maybe this is going to be my first pitch.
Okay. So you're meeting if it's an IT related, suppose example, you're getting a chance at some coincident event, you're meeting the IT Minister of India. Go ahead.
So as per the Indian scriptures, it's always said that Mahima Datro Bhavatu, which means the donor is always at the highest level of respect. But when it comes to donations, we talk about rice donation, we talk about land donations, which are basically done when we have something with us. But there is a special type of donation which can be done by every person who's healthy and did not know how to execute it well. And that's blood. People always neglect blood donation, and that's one of the most important donations of human life. We have created an application where if a patient is admitted to a hospital, the hospital can directly raise a request, and around 5 kilometers radius, everybody with the same blood group or the blood group which is a universal donor, which is O negative, everyone would be getting an email. We have tried to make it as a regular message, but we need a service provider for that. Therefore, we have adapted emails which are free of cost. Due to this, everybody in the region would be getting an alert message telling that there is a person who requires blood and he is in an emergency. Moreover, this application even has a feature that if you have donated blood today, you cannot donate it for 6 months. And once if you tell the application that I have donated it today, the application will not disturb you for 6 months, which is
Thank you,
also one of,
Siddharth.
yeah.
I'll stop you there. I'm the IT
Thank
minister. I don't have that much time.
yeah, sure. No problem.
Just kidding. So wonderfully done on setting up with the philosophy, with the idea, then with coming to the blood, and then coming to the blood donation, and then coming to the process. But this is the actual pitch. This is not the elevator pitch. You have gone on to the details, which you may not always have the time. I began the timer late by around 10 seconds. So you have spoken for 1 minute, 10 seconds. And just to prop up the excitement of someone giving you an appointment is what the purpose of elevator pitch is, not selling the idea in itself.
Okay, fine. I didn't know that.
No, that's okay. If you have joined late, I understand. But the idea of elevator pitch is to keep it brief and get the other person excited that he gives you an appointment or wants to sit down on a further discussion with you. Here, what happened is that you went on with your entire pitch in itself, which is the actual presentation that you could give him if he calls you. Because there will be instances where the person might not be interested or he doesn't have that much time to listen to you with so much attention of detail, which you're going to share. So here, when you began, I saw a good 11 to 12 seconds of philosophy with regard to what is the thought process behind it, then coming on to donations, and then coming on to blood, which is the commonality. This part of it covered a good 35 seconds. And you have still not talking what are you doing? The app word came at almost 38 seconds. So you have missed out on an entire 40 seconds. You never know you're getting the 60 seconds or not. You could as well be, okay, I'll talk to you later. I don't have time. So maybe in an idea like this, you could begin with a pitch about statistics of how many people, as an example, are missing out on blood because of lack. Blood is there everywhere, like the point that you mentioned. But people are dying because of lack of blood. These many statistics, you can tell that over 2,000 people are dying every day because they are not finding blood. And all of us around are having blood. You could look at a pitch to give a awareness. Okay, now this is something that I want to listen to. As an IT minister, how can I work around with my medical department, medical minister, and see if we can create an innovation? And there you get on to telling that I've always heard. So here again, your entire pitch was all about you, yourself, and the product that you have. You do not use an opportunity to uplift the minister. I recently saw you working on this project, which has helped millions of people. And by doing this service for free, it has impacted so many people. As an example,
Yes,
my government app or something like that, just to give you an example. I don't know what app that is, but by uplifting him, you are telling him that you did that there. I have another idea similar, which has a similar scale opportunity like that. So making him feel that, okay, he knows me, or he's done his research of why he's talking to me. And that's where it gets him excited. The meeting, the details, the app, 5 kilometers, if you have given, if you have already given, it won't notify you. All those things are later. The first part is to get him excited to listen to you and then give you 5 minutes, not 1 minute. How can you do that is where the focus is. Okay, I think you joined late. So in the starting of the session, I'd put the context about why this is important and how, what role does elevator pitch play in the entire scheme of things. It is not the pitch of the idea in itself. It is just make the idea to connect and get the ball rolling. That is the focus of an elevator pitch, not creating a deal in itself, because that will happen later. But for that, you have to make inroads with a connection and tell or make the other person feel that, okay, I would want to talk to you. I would want to know more about this project of yours. Or what is this app doing? I would want to know more. please get in touch with my secretary and let's set an appointment. Or I'm interested in what you're going to share. I'm looking forward to it. Is where it has to end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Wonderful. So I liked it, but too many details about the pitch in itself at this level can spoil, because if you get into the details, he might not be excited to begin
Yeah.
with at that point in time, is all I would say. Otherwise, all the idea, the way you created the philosophy, the donations part of it, the storyline, the narrative that you created was very good. Well done on that. Okay, let's move to the next person. Who's coming up? Dinesh or Sajia? Dinesh, go ahead. Context. Dinesh, you're on mute.
Could you mind? Can you please set a context for me?
So
Anything?
what do you do?
Basically, I'm a supplier quality engineer into the manufacturing field.
Okay, so as an example, let's take that you have created a product which reduces the quality check or product quality check by more than 75%. And you're meeting your IT head of your company. You are one employee who's created or done this pilot project, and now you're getting a chance to meet with your IT head of the company. Go ahead, Dinesh. The time starts now.
To meet you, sir. Myself, I'm Dinesh Raja. I'm working as a supplier quality engineer in the Hyderabad location. Glad to meet you. If you have a time, I'd like to catch up with you 1 minute for just explaining the exciting things, what we can discuss further when you have a time later. So this is nothing to do. It is all about the new software I have developed in terms of identifying the defects by automatically, and this will give a notifications to the supplier as well as the customer at the same point of time, and this will reduce lot of email communications and people in interventions, and this will help. We have a documentation control, and in terms of chasing and have a accountability, and this has a lot of other benefits. I know that you are running for a other meeting, but if you have a time, please let me know. I'll be sharing my contact details with you. Please let me know when we can have a catch up again. Thank you.
Very well done, Dinesh. I loved the fact about how you set up. You have a clear, simple introduction about yourself, where you're coming from, so that he knows who's talking to me. A good, clear setup where your role you mentioned, you talked about the location that you're working from and the team that you're working in. A good 9 to 10 seconds were used in between. Sir, can I have a minute of yours? You are running late for a meeting. All those things are there. I understand those are, he also knows, you also know. But you're wasting 9 seconds of your time by telling these things. Instead of this, you could have used that extra maybe 10 seconds of time to just make him excited about the results that you're going to share. As an example, this small software has helped or saved total of maybe, as an example, 20 man hours in our team and given benefits of $4,000 just in our team. And I believe this has the potential of scaling it to the organization and the massive benefits you all can get by scaling up to the organization level, this kind of a software. That's it. He's excited now. 4,000 in a small team like this, and look at what I can do, what this idea can make in my company. Now I'm excited. Keep that meeting aside. Tell me about your idea. Getting the point? Talk results qualitatively, because what happens is that it's a big room. If I tell you it's a big room, it can be a 200 square feet room or it can be a 20,000 square feet room. But if I tell you it's a room, it has rooms, like as an example, it's a mansion with 20,000 square feet room each. And if I tell you it's a mansion with big rooms, how do you feel? That's where we're talking of actual statistics, or getting them or pushing across the results to them with which they can actually start thinking numbers. So as an example, you talk of $4,000 in your company and your context could be different. And you tell Elon Musk that in my team, I've saved $4,000. I don't need $4,000. It's okay. There you'll be talking of based on his scale. Or you can talk of, as an example, in my team, I've saved $4,000 based on this software, and based on my estimates, I think it can save 4 million for the company if we do it right. And that's a basic expectation that I have. It can be much bigger than that. Now I'm listening. What the difference of how you are playing with getting the other person's attention? Clear, everyone? Okay, now we have, I hope that helps. Talk results. Remove the flap, because we do not have time. We often have, because when you're talking, we would like to talk, and we have all these fillers in between. I know you're busy, sir. Can I have 5 minutes of your time, sir? If he's already listening to you, why do you want to ask 1 more minute? Instead of telling that, sir, I have an interesting, exciting project that I have developed recently. Then you don't have to say that, sir, give me 1 minute. He's automatically listening to you. So that makes the entire difference. Okay. Sure. Sazia, want to give it a shot? If no, it's okay. I would leave it to you. So just a housewife. Interesting. Let's get to your point now. You are meeting a women's empowerment lady.
Okay.
Who's creating opportunities for women who are just working from home with job opportunities.
Okay.
Start.
Yes. Hey, really, very finally, I get to meet you. I've heard so much about you and what you are throwing out for women who are working from home. So, of course, who needs a fancy office if you can get things done at the convenience of your seat? And you must obviously agree that the women who are at home, they are much more capable of handling efficiently both things. Of course, you must have heard about such women bringing a change. What I would like to say is that I have been working from home since the last 5 years, since the pandemic hit, and we all know that so much of costs have been cut down for actual offices, and they can provide work from home. Yes, so I'm a project manager since the past 5 years. I've been working internationally also, only in certain project level. So I would like to pitch in and would, I have spillovers. Okay.
Too much flab. Too much flab in between. You did not realize how quickly 60 seconds passed.
Okay.
You went ahead with saying a lot of things, good things, a good introduction to you, but not an elevator pitch.
Yeah. Okay.
You talked about work from home, saving time, project management. You talked about women are capable. You talked about a lot of things, but you did not create a pitch for yourself. Last one line was, I would like to contribute to something.
Yeah.
But there are 1,000 people who are coming to her and saying, I would like to contribute, please help me. Or how can I do it? You have not created a pitch for yourself, and 60 seconds gone. Clear? Now you realize how quickly 60 seconds pass for all of you all together. For all of you all, for whatever you have spoken, look at how quickly 60 seconds pass and how much flab we have. When we know that we have 60 seconds only, how much flab do we have in our conversation? Because we are generally in circles with people who have a lot of time. Tum 1 minute ka 2 minute baat karo, chalega. But if you actually get to business, you get to the opportunities, a lot of opportunities will be missed because you are not getting down to business quickly. You do not have that much time. That's where I began the session with this one line. Time and attention are today's biggest assets. If you can't convey what you want to say in 60 seconds, you're going to lose it. That's about this idea about selling yourself. Now let's have a few techniques, few activities, another few activities where I'm going to give you a situation and you can go ahead with creating a pitch. One more shot at 60 seconds fame. Clear? Okay. Let's go ahead with the first one we had. Uma ma'am, you are a city head. I am a city head, and you are into a company which is into beautification of cities. So you do the maybe landscaping or the trees or the coloring and all the stuff that happens in the city. You are a company which is into that. And I am the city's municipality head who approves budgets for these things. And now you have 60 seconds with me. Over to you.
Hello, sir. I heard that you are the new CEO or the municipal commissioner who has joined Mysore recently. You must not be aware of my expertise in the creative field in, beautifying the city. Mysore, as you know, is a city of palaces. But then there is a new concept where our company has created a design to beautify the walls in Mysore. So what we do is we beautify the walls with paintings from artists, from the local artists, and also from artisans from different parts of India. We bring them together to a common place, and then we exhibit the talent they have, so that India is also exhibited. People from outside, foreigners come to Mysore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want others to speak now. What did you find good? What was missing? Subhash?
Yeah. So I see the missing point first is like she started a bit slow in introduction. Maybe I would see some 15 seconds got lost in that maybe. So we could have initiated before. And good point is that she come to the point, I think, at the last 10-15 seconds. So what she will contribute, or the organization which is going to contribute to the beautification of the city, might be that could have started a bit earlier, and then so that she'll have more time to work on it, or they say a convey on that point. That's what I observed.
Thank you. Thank you, Subhash.
Yeah.
Shazia, Rabia, anyone else? Anything that could have been done better? Sri Krishna, go ahead.
I felt that one thing which was missing is too many filler words here. So
Okay.
while doing the pitch, this so that way that could have been avoided and could
Okay.
have
One thing that I would want to skip over here is because it's not her. If that's the reason when she did a spoken English thing, she did not have filler words, because there's a created concept or created situation. So it's expected that she's thinking while she's starting to speak. That's a natural thing which can happen. Please note, this is just an activity for demonstration. This need not be your pitch. But I want you to focus on your pitches, with which you will get into the details of how are you pitching for yourself in the field of work that you are in, or your ideas or yourself. So filler words, okay, part and parcel, because she's creating the entire imagery while she's speaking. And that is a part of, that's possible that the filler words will come even for me. That's okay. So on the idea part, anyone else? Sai Kiran, go ahead.
Yeah, she didn't mention, missed on the budget.
Okay, still, yeah. Budget, again, the details will come through later. It's all about getting that excitement.
But he thinks it is a lot of useless work, useless budget, maybe.
Possible.
He could
So
allocate something else.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
where
farming,
she can talk about the
agriculture.
benefits. Where possibly Uma ma'am missed is, she could have talked about the benefits of doing something like this. Because quantitatively, you might not be able to justify beautifying a city. But you could talk of other examples like international cities which have become global images of beautiful cities. Or you could talk of India's most beautiful city, which has been titled or awarded the most beautiful city, and talk of examples that, so that is again a deeper pitch. But how do you know, how do you perceive Mysore to be, sir? Today,
Yeah.
I'm looking at broken walls, the temples, and things which are not appealing. And we have always been benefit from tourism. One element that we have started as an initiative is beautifying the walls and the surroundings of Mysore with artist work who are from the ground level and showcases us and our heritage. Excited about few things: heritage, artists, you want to beautify your city. Look at how elements are being pouring in, through which somewhere you might find a connect with the person and he might want to talk about it. Still not giving you a project, but he might want to talk about understanding what is the cost and what are we going to do about it. The entire idea is not many people will be into the beautifying services. You are. So you want an appointment to tell him what do we do. Then budget and all those things will come into the picture. We can talk about it later. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Three more things. 3 more instances. Let's talk about that next. Okay. Subhash, who's into IT here? Anyone into IT services? Sri Krishna? Okay. Sri Krishna, want to go to give it a shot? I'll give you a topic. You meet a school principal and you are providing an app. You're providing an app to manage the attendance of teachers and students. Okay. So you have 1 minute. Over to you.
Morning, ma'am. So I know it's very difficult to manage attendance manually. So why can't you try some IT services app? So we make an app named Dodge, and in this app we can punch in and punch out attendance simply for the students, and it could be easy for the teachers also to track. And even in schools also sometimes students may bunk the classes. So from that data we can pull out things, and we can avoid students bunking classes. And also it will be a good metric to monitor their overall attendance percent.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you. So, Sri Krishna, any feedback, anyone? Anyone?
Yeah.
Subhash, go ahead.
Yeah, I see. He directly started with introduction, like what he is doing and what is the problem. Rather, he could have introduced what he is and how long he is working, and so that that will give the credibility. Start with the credibility, and then he could have started with the project he is looking for. That one observation I looked into.
Interesting, Subhash.
And
Here,
how beneficial it would be
Rabia, go ahead.
how beneficial it would be if they start using that app. That's
Benefits, Sri Krishna. You talked about attendance and importance of attendance. You are not into the business of attendance. You are into the management of how to manage the attendance data. And you still didn't talk about the pain that the person has. You did not target the pain people have as a result of lack of managing a solution for attendance. You did not talk of your results in other companies or other customers, the benefits that they have got in saving time, the benefits of the reports or the control that they have. You talked about attendance. So that's a difference. Convert your pitch, think from the other person. If you want to influence someone, you're influencing someone, and that you have to curate what you're going to say to meet that person's wavelength. That person's wavelength is not, they don't know if there's any software which exists, but they know the pain that they have. They know the results that they want, but they don't have an answer to what they need. So you have to map in these things so that it connects to them, and then they find it exciting. Today, half of the problem is not that they don't have a solution. Someone somewhere has a solution. It's just that it's not been pitched to people. If you pitch it right, the doors unlock. But pitch it right. You pitch the same thing to a student, attendance and all this story with regard to why attendance is important, they're bunking and all those things, I think it will fall flat. Clear? So wonderful. Thank you. One more attempt, the last one for today. Who's coming up? Who wants to go?
Yeah, me.
Okay. You are a company employee, and you are a company employee who's into food and beverages outsourcing. You're meeting the head of a company who's a facilities manager there.
Head of company facilities means
you are basically for someone who provides outsourcing, the food and catering services which you provide, and you're meeting a company who's starting or setting up a company, and they'll potentially need someone to provide, or they might do it in-house. So you're getting a chance to meet that person who's deciding what to do or how to go about this food and beverages thing in their company.
Okay. Yeah.
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 Okay. The time starts now.
Hello, sir. Listen that you are establishing this great company soon. Yeah, it looks a great idea, and yeah, wishing you all the best. I am a food and beverages supplier from Hyderabad. You know, I have many outlets here in many localities, and I did catering to many major events like for the MPs and MLAs. So at a reasonable price. You can also review my rating in reviews. So I think first for attracting the employees to come to the office, it would be good to subsidize their food and supply at the office itself, so they need not pack their lunch and cook themselves. So we could provide such subsidy rates with low reasonable price to your employees.
Interesting. Thank you, Sai Kiran. Good clarity on what you are going to offer. But this is an elevator pitch. You have got into the details, you have got into selling yourself completely with regard to the pricing, subsidy, why they should get food and all that stuff. But as a facilities manager, when I'm deciding in-house, I'm already committed that I need a food court, a cafeteria, or a place where people will have their food. I know that I want to have that. Here, your pitch, when it comes to me making a decision, how are you going to make me or help me in decision making, is by telling what are the costs of you managing it completely versus you outsourcing, and there's a cost to it. There you can talk of that this is a building like L&T, so you know this building is there right now, and we are providers of their food and beverages, and we completely outsource and we completely manage. We have seen companies where they do it in-house and it's a headache for them because of too many complexities and this not being their business when it comes to managing the work. So look at how you're creating a pitch for him to go ahead with you rather than going ahead in-house or looking at the management and saving costs. The pitch that you give is based on the numbers and the pain point that you're going to talk of. You have not talked about the pain point. You're talking about subsidizing the employees, they're not getting food. You're talking of, you have done many events, the reasonable price. Nobody's talked of pricing yet. The pricing and all those things will come later when you actually go ahead with pitching that what is your contract. And then he'll come with his figures that, okay, if I do it, it's going to cost me, as an example, monthly 10 lakh rupees. You tell me what are you going to do? That's later. First of all, you're creating a desire in him to go ahead with outsourced solution rather than in-house, because that's where your business will come, right?
Yeah.
So focus on the pain point of the other person more than what is it, the details that you're going to offer and why they should go ahead with this kind of a workout, provide food or not food. Clear?
Yeah.
Any other feedback anyone would like to give? Anyone? Okay, we are at 10:10 now. Any ideas that you all have got or any insights that you have learned from today's session? Before I go ahead with sharing a few things which I have in my big list, I'll just share a few things which I observed and learned from what I saw today and what we could take away from this session.
Yeah, for a successful emotional connect, we need their pain point. We need to understand their pains.
Okay, pain point, wonderful. Interesting. Dinesh, go ahead. Dinesh?
May I?
So, usually I have here the elevator talk. It is to do with the boss actually. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, but I just come to know it is, generally the elevator talk will be useful not only to do with the business, it is to meet the sports person or an inspiring person, mentor, anyone, but it is, the impact what we are creating within the 30 seconds, the lifted timing, just for referring the 60 seconds or 30 seconds, but what is the impact we are creating, it is all matters actually. So it was just one more good opportunity to practice with all.
Dinesh, you're not audible. Rabi, are you there?
Yeah, may I?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes. See, as far as myself concerned with, I can say that however far your experience would be, whatever be the long lasting experience you have, but still, when if it is given a specific time period for you to speak upon, then you need to be very cautious and careful enough to target the main thing what you're supposed to say about. So that is a great thing which I have learned in this session. As always, I can say it's a great learning, which made us to feel that when you are talking to people around you is different. When you're talking to the people to whom you are specifically need to convey your message to them is different. So in the given period of time, to talk to that particular context is very important, and that's what we have learned today. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Who's next? Shazia? If Rahul gave an elevator pitch, how would that be? Just for example, no, please spare me. I have been doing elevator pitches whole my life. I don't want to give another demo. Like as an example, while you came for the meeting, before you actually got into, I showed you the exciting elements of what is a part of this club. So that was, you can consider that as an elevator pitch that I tried, because I was using the time that I had and the opportunity that propped up. Many a times we are silent and we are just waiting for things to start. Okay, we'll talk when the session starts. But I used that opportunity and got ahead with giving a brief. Now, if I ask you, what do you think about Speak Up Club, or what do you think of this session? Based on the idea that I gave and what you experienced in the last 1 hour is where you are creating your imagery. And I put the context behind that by giving an elevator pitch before I started the session, to you at least, because others joined later, but that was how it was. So yeah, that's the thing. Uman, any other feedback, anyone?
Yeah, I also wanted to give you one
Okay.
situation.
Okay. Now that's
Yeah, you're
interesting.
attending a conference, gold conference, where all these gold people who sell gold have come, and you want to pitch your company or your store to them, saying why you are so special and different from others. So
Okay.
how would you do that? I am
Okay.
the CEO of the exhibition, or a person who wants to invest in such collaborators.
Interesting. Okay, ma'am. Given that you have put me in a fix, let me give it a shot, and I hope I do not depress all of you all that, okay, he was a good judge, but I don't know how he performs. Let me give it a shot then. Thank you. And the timer starts for me now. Hello, ma'am. I'm Rahul Jain, the proprietor of Jera Indra Gold, and we have been into the business for the past 40 years. I've often been admiring your business and the way you hold exhibitions and these setups that you maintain. One thing that I've often observed is the common pain point that all of the customers equally face is how, not what is sold, but how it is serviced. That is one of the fundamental differentiator of where we come into the picture. In our business, we have scaled up over the past 15 years by 100x, only by focusing on the service element of it. While the product is all the common for all of us, it's a service that makes a differentiator. And I think when it comes to your exhibitions and your business, having a certainty of a service provider who stands by his word will definitely help you in serving your customers better. If you would like to collaborate and understand more about the processes that we follow and how you can benefit from it, I'm looking forward to meeting with you all sometime very soon.
The person will give away his gold, diamonds, everything, all the gems once listening.
I hope that was helpful, and again, very impromptu. I hope it worked out. Please note here, again, not telling that I am good at it, but the point of how I look at it, creating credibility, setting up a problem which is common and something which could attract the other person, talking of the results with which we have proven our case, and then talking of a connect, trying to build a connection to see if we can work together and help you solve your problems for the better. The template. Look at the template that we follow for. You can do it the same way for yourself. Build the credibility, talk of the one-liner of what you do. Go ahead with the pain point or the problem situation of whatever is happening or whatever your USP lies in. I could have told product jewelry, you could have told 10 people who are selling jewelry. What is different? So I had to highlight that service was our differentiator, and then went on to tell that we built our service by the processes and all those things, and then went on to, if you need something like this in your business, connect with us. Look at the construct. That is how you go ahead with building the processes and this entire elevator pitch. And I was conscious of the time. I could have added more flab if I wanted to. I'm admiring, I again uplifted also. I've been a fan of your exhibitions, the way they have been going and all those elements in which people give the attention for that first 45 seconds. And then we can talk business later. Uman, happy that I'm the host of this session? Thank you. So yeah, a few things which I wanted to share with as a template with regard to how you can get better at elevator pitches is these. Like I already mentioned with the examples right now, set up with building your credibility or your ethos. We talked about these things in the Inner Circle membership programs. Build or begin with the ethos, which is called as building the credibility and showing what you do in a basic, simple, keep it simple, showing what you do. And then get on to the problem or the setup or the situation that you are trying to offer a solution. Again, you're not telling what the solution that you're offering. You're trying to create a situation which tells them that you need me. And then you are going on to tell, what am I offering? And then you are going on to build the connect. So look at your interviews. In your interviews also, equally the same logic applies. Show them that this is one of the most critical skills. And then tell, I'm the master at it. And then tell what your mastery can add to that company. That is where they listen to you. Otherwise, you're always on the asking side where, can I have an opportunity? If you give me a chance. Rather than that, make them seek you. That is where your game goes up. In whatever you do. Not just interviews, in the jobs, in the ideas, in the startups, whatever work that you're doing. See how you are curating that need and then pitching yourself. Absolute pitching is business. That I want to sell my gold and this is a service that I offer. Telling that service is where the differentiator is and I am the master of offering service. See the feeling that you get. One is pushing himself. Second one is pulling you to it. Clear? So focus on that. A few techniques with which you can do attention grabbing. You can offer questions. Do you know what is the most important differentiator for the people who are successful in this industry? Service. Create that question and then give that answer. Credibility boost. We have been into this business for the last 20 years, 40 years. We have grown it 100x. Our testimonials, our referrals, all that whatever you're saying, something to build your credibility. Like Rabia was talking about the teaching thing, the same logic. I have helped my teaching community with this program and it has offered immense benefits. The results are these. I've done these programs outside my school. The results are these. Building credibility. That is what people get attracted to. Statistic. We have a customer story. Someone mentioned a story when they were sharing or creating the pitch. I think it was Sai Kiran. Using an emotional appeal, using one-liner questions to get the other person thinking, and then finding you as the answer to their situation to find that connect. Blood donation, interesting. It is a problem. Oh, he has a solution for it. Let's listen to what is the solution. I'll get back to you. So folks, I hope each one of you all had some interesting insights from today's session and had a good opportunity to pitch yourself in an elevator and see how good you are or what are the areas that you need to work upon from the feedback that we all have worked together and shared with you all. I hope each one of you all take these insights and get better at having clear, concise, and compelling elevator pitches with which not just in one facet of your life, that's profession, in whatever facet of your life that you're dealing in, having this kind of an elevator pitch with this idea of how can you influence or build your case in an impactful way can help you win a lot of cases for yourself. I hope each one of you all take these insights and bring them into your life and work upon gradually improving yourself, doing it with practice and constantly looking to evaluate yourself and upping your game in the way you do things. This is what we do at Inner Circle. This was just a demonstration with a lot of activities today, but this is what we do at Inner Circle with whatever theme that we pick up every month. We get deeper. We find actionable work to be done to help us improve on the skill that we're chasing in that month. Please note, it is not life and improvement in general. whatever we do, we focus on one element and see how we can get better at that. And doing one element at a time, doing it day in and day out over a period of time gets our life better in whatever we are doing. That is what we want to chase and do at Inner Circle in this program of Speak Up Club Inner Circle. Thank you for all the members who have been a part of this journey. Looking forward to seeing you all next month again. And for anyone who's interested and finds this exciting and wants to be a part of a community like this, you can get in touch with me after the program or after we stop the recording. With that, I sign off today's program, the elevator pitch, and sign off this month's theme, the art of influence, with this session. See you all next month, next Friday again. Thank you. Have a good night.